$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. You know, COVID definitely has created a lot of good moments. It really, really has. And I also think that Dave Grohl has pretty much set the bar for any other rock dude. That if you want to be considered amazing, you better start doing some cool stuff and put it on video.
And put it on. You better get credit for it. If you're going to do good stuff out there for people, you better get credit for it.
And that just happened. Finally, a story about a dude in rock that did something cool, and it's not Dave Grohl. There's a street musician in Scotland who posted a video this week accusing a drunk woman of smashing his guitar. And here's what he posted when a drunk woman destroyed his guitar.
Now I'm a bit shaken up because this lady has come over and she just smashed my guitar. She started shouting in my face, swearing at me, telling me I wasn't playing, so I told her, go away, leave me alone. So I ended up moving her bag out of the way, so she grabbed my guitar and threw it on the ground.
Oh, damn.
Obviously, if I don't have a guitar, I can't bust, so if you can help me out, that'd be massive appreciation. Cheers, thanks.
I wonder what, was he singing a song that reminded her of, a breakup? Stop playing that song.
Oh,
geez, yeah. It makes me think of that. It's going to date me. Here's that Phil Old moment. Animal House.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. Oh, my God. That super dates you.
Yeah, but that's like an iconic scene.
You
when
mean
Jim
where
Belushi grabs the guy's guitar, he's trying to, wow the ladies. And he's playing a stupid, cheesy love song, and he just grabs and just smashes the guitar. Such an awesome moment in that movie.
You're not that old, though, because you called him Jim Belushi, so I know you're not that
John
old.
Belushi.
Yeah, John is. Jim is still alive and still doing stuff.
Guy.
Yeah, but still, that means you're not old, because you remember the other Belushi, which is a bit of a, man, this is a beating, but of course,
I gave my love a cherry.
Oh, I know. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
I hope Animal House still holds up.
That had no stone.
This guy set up a GoFundMe page because, look, if he's out on the sidewalk trying to make some cash.
Yeah, he's a busker.
He cannot afford to have his big busking, tool destroyed like that. So it is his livelihood. He went on GoFundMe, said, hey, if you can help out. In just 24 hours, man, that worked out. He was able to buy an acoustic guitar. But how about this? While he was in the guitar shop, he got a phone call from Jack White. Jack White is on the other line going, hey, buddy. How about this? How about I buy you an electric guitar as well? I mean, this got to be what Facebook does this, because you can call people on Facebook.
Yeah, I have no idea how they pulled that off, but yeah, it's probably something along those lines. Or he might, I would imagine Jack White reached out to the guitar shop that he's in front of, or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, good call. Either way,
I have no idea.
Here's a phone call, and so the guy posted a photo of it on Instagram, and this is what he had to say.
I just want to say a big thank you to Jack White for getting me the guitar. It's life-changing. I'm not over it yet. I'd love to say thank you properly to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And to everyone that donated as well. It's amazing. I'm back out busking. I'm doing what I love, so thank you so much.
Jack White reached out to him and says, "I'll give me the guitar back. I didn't like that version. Get back to me when you play my song better." That was cool, man.
So this is evidence that the internet does do good stuff. Like, this technology is helpful. Because how would a guy in Scotland ever be able to have this happen in his life if not for the social media and social networks?
He took something that was awful, some drunk idiot decided to smash his guitar. Now all of a sudden Jack White's reaching out to him, and man, Jack White's such a phenomenal guitar player. Every once in a while I'll just put on either the White Stripes or some of his other stuff that he's done, Dead Weather and the Rackin' Tours, or his solo stuff, and it's just so good.
Did you see him on SNL?
Oh my! Did I see him? That was
Did
amazing.
I see him? I made love to him.
Yeah, his rendition of Ball and Biscuit was so amazing.
The entire performance was just great, and but I couldn't stop watching his drummer.
Dude, the setup was so weird. He was like leaning forward on it and I've never seen something like that.
I've seen drummers, they have like a slight tilt where they almost like to hit like the rim of the drum while they hit the skin of the drum, so they tilt it a little bit away from them. But this drummer, all of his drums were tilted towards like the audience, if there was an audience, and not him. So he had like, I don't even know how he did it, man, but I would hurt my wrist trying to play the way that guy played.
It was so cool to watch it do it because you could actually see what he was doing.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when I saw that, I was like, is it me and I'm just somehow tripping?
I've seen drummers do that on a smaller level, like where it's a slight like bend or a slight tilt. To that extreme, it was weird.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like the guy, it didn't affect the way that he played whatsoever. Like that's his style.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool performance. But you mentioned that, like, originally it was supposed to be a country music artist.
Yeah.
What was his name? Morgan Wallen, which I honestly had no idea who this guy was until he got pulled from, because he was partying too much, I guess, with people.
Yeah, he was.
And making out with random girls at, like, a party.
Yeah, he was.
And it was, like, a bad look. But that made me want to hear his music, because I'm like, who is this guy? He's got, like, he just doesn't give an F.
No,
and
he doesn't.
I tracked down his record, man. That guy's good. Morgan Wallen.
Well,
his record's really good.
Well, I'm glad he's got good music. I wish he would be a little bit better at social distancing, but yeah, he's good at least with music.
I mean, you're right. Like, but I don't think anyone got COVID in the situation. Thankfully.
Oh, I thought that somebody did, and that's why he was pulled. It was they just pulled
right.
him.
No, it was just
because
it was just safety protocols.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and he posted an apology video, realizing that he screwed up.
Well, here's what I don't understand. I mean, I understand that he
partying with the girls from the Texas A&M college.
So that's why they pulled him rather than test him. Like, they couldn't get him a quick test to see if he was okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's.
No, they also pulled him because they felt like people were saying he had a laxed attitude towards the virus. So it was a little bit of precaution, but also we don't want to align ourselves with this guy because right now he's getting a lot of negative PR.
Wow.
In the height of a COVID world.
Wow.
But Lauren Michaels reached out to him and said, hey, we'll find a time to make this up. So that meant a lot to the guy after the apology.
See, here's the thing. Here's what that tells me. That tells me that the majority of the people that watch SNL are people who believe in masks. Because there's a big divide in this country about that.
Well, if you watch SNL and you see kind of the skits and the bits that they do, it's very apparent like that's an audience that they reach towards.
Yeah, I always thought they try to at least be somewhat neutral, but I guess in this particular instance,
but they have a news network; they can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
they don't have to be neutral.
Well, if you're trying to be an entertainer, I mean, I'm the person that wants to get everybody liking me, so that's how I try to do it as much as possible, which is why on this show we kind of stay away from talking about anything that will people, because we want everybody to sit at our table. It's like, do what you want to do, but I can see their point.
Well, this dude's got an awesome mullet,
yeah,
and he makes out with hot chicks, and his music ain't all that bad. Like, I honestly would have never looked him up had it not been for the fact that this happened. So in a weird way, I think maybe this helped him publicity-wise.
He does look like Joe Dirt. He really, he
looks like he likes to party and crush beers.
Yeah, he really, really does.
And make out with hot chicks.
Yeah.
And he's got a cool mustache.
Yeah, he looks like a throwback Joe Dirt, but he's like, good for him, man.
Wears shirts that are sleeveless, button-up shirts, and he just cuts the sleeves off.
Yeah, he's got that vibe. I'm not sure what it is, but he's got it.
You look at him and all you think is, that guy likes to party.
Yeah.
He's got a farmer's tan.
He definitely looks like he comes from a different part of the country than I do.
Well,
yeah.
I'm all about him now.
Yeah.
I've actually become a fan of his.
I tell you,
and it's the dumbest reason, though.
Well, I mean, look, the guy's having fun. He just needed to be a little bit more responsible about how he's having fun, but he's having fun.
He definitely is having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever been turned on to something that you like music or a film or a TV show, where it's it's the dumbest reason why you checked it out, but all of a sudden you fell in love with it?
Ooh.
There was an old band way back in the day, and it was just a dumb industrial band named Crossbreed, and they've gone away since then. But I found out that they had glow-in-the-dark tattoos from a magazine, and I was like, I need to listen to their music. And I did, and I actually like the album.
Isn't that funny, though? Like, of all the reasons, you would have never checked them out otherwise.
No. I had no reason to. I just saw it was a little blurb. It's like, yeah, these guys they make music, and they have cool glow-in-the-dark tattoos. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
I have a thing where if you try pushing something on me, I'm not going to want to do it. So I had an ex-boyfriend. He's like, you need to watch Firefly. You need to watch Firefly. I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Stop it. You're making me hate the show that I've never seen before. We break up, and I'm like, I'm going to watch it now. Screw you. And I ended up loving it.
Yeah, think about like Breaking Bad. I watched the last episode of the final, the season finale.
You totally trolled everybody. You trolled everybody with that. Like, I'll just watch the last episode. And all of us purists are like, are you kidding me, Steve? You can't watch the last episode.
Right, I just watched it so I could go on Twitter and be like, I don't get it. And then people are like, well, you idiot. You've never watched the show. Why would you get it? But then I fell in love with the episode because it was so damn good. I didn't even bother tweeting. I was just like so glued to my television set that as soon as we finished watching the last episode, we went back and watched the entire show. And that's like top 3 shows of all time for me.
That's a great example. I don't think I would have ever expected that from you. Like, okay, it's kind of, I thought, all right, this is funny. The rest of us are going to be celebrating it with the right intention, and Steve's going to be Steve. And then you were like, okay, we have to watch every single one they ever did. I'm like, whoa.
Well, even my wife was like, what, we have to do what? I'm like, I said it on the air. I was stupid, but like, we have to watch Breaking Bad. She's like, we've never watched the show before. I'm like, it's about a guy who does math and he's a teacher and stupid stuff. I don't know. And we
what a great review, by the way.
And we were both just blown away. Even being clueless to a lot of 90% of the stuff that was going on, it was so well done. That it was like, this is a show we need to embrace.
I would say for me, musically, you've been telling me about this band Glorious Sons for so much, and you've been telling everybody, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't like what Steve likes. There's no way I'm going to try this. And every time you go, you would like this, I would go, this is the guy that tells me about all these damn movies and shows that I can't stand.
One being Pootie Tang, and I was right.
So those are the two things. You know what? You brought up Pootie Tang. You're absolutely right. I made fun of you for so long, and I ended up loving Pootie Tang. I think that Pootie Tang is a great, great movie. And Glorious Sons are like one of my favorite bands. I cannot tell you how much I love those guys. And there's a song that they have that is like my favorite anthem song. If you say, hey, BJ, what's one of your favorite songs ever? I would say SOS.
Sawed Off Shotgun.
Yeah,
baby.
it is such an amazing song for me anyway. I mean, they got a lot of great music, but that one's amazing for me.
There's a band, artist that opened up for them when I saw them over at the Tractor Tavern, JJ Wild, and her record also is just amazing from beginning to end. She's an incredible singer-songwriter, performer. She does it all, and she's awesome. And she just put out a version of Stevie Nicks' Stop Dragging My Heart Around with Brett from the Glorious Sons on vocals with her. That's
awesome. Cool.
It's
that's
so
a nice
good.
Old school, because Tom Petty was on that with Stevie back in the day.
Exactly. So it just got released, I think, either yesterday or today. It's very good.
I'd like to hear that one.
Well, Google it.
Brother.
Brother.
Yeah. Google it, brother.
Yeah, you didn't finish that sentence.
No, he's going to change it to a Hulk Hogan
nicer
style.
version.
Google it, brother.
It's a different beat, brother.
Yeah. We got a survey that found the worst Wi-Fi etiquette rules that you can break. And here's what I'm wondering. Are you guilty of any of these? I'll tell you what topped the list. Hey, at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Hey, normally when I tell you there's a survey and they've polled 2,000 people, I could actually tell you who did it. But for some reason, they don't want any credit. So somehow 2,000 people got polled, and they asked them this. They're like, hey, man, what are the worst Wi-Fi etiquette rules that we break? And apparently the average person breaks at least one of these 10 rules a month.
Ooh, Wi-Fi etiquette.
I didn't really know there was a Wi-Fi etiquette.
Oh, man, stealing somebody's Wi-Fi. That, to me, would be the ultimate Wi-Fi etiquette thing. Like, if your neighbor has, like, a Wi-Fi and is dumb enough not to put a password on it, you still shouldn't take their password, their Wi-Fi.
Guess what, Steve? That's number one.
Yeah.
That's connecting to somebody's Wi-Fi without asking. But again, if you don't have a password on your Wi-Fi and like the people that set it up don't tell you to get one, are you just too late? What do you expect's going to happen?
Well, I mean, dude, that's like saying if you didn't lock the door on your house, what do you expect? Someone might walk in and take your TV.
But I mean, but Wi-Fi, the only thing
a little more extreme.
Yeah, all they're going to do is slow you down, right?
Yeah, but that's frustrating.
I'm assuming they're not parking outside your house and doing it, but they come over and immediately connect to your Wi-Fi.
Well, what if it's your neighbor?
Well, yeah, that's different. If my neighbor's doing it and they're constantly doing it, you're right. That's not cool.
That kind of reminds me back in the day if you would glom off of somebody else's cable. Like you would just like attach the things because I knew some people that did that back in the day. And
get the splitter and just like reconnect it.
It didn't tell the neighbor. They just did it.
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
Yeah. See, now I'm with Steve on that one. That ain't cool.
Yeah, that got a little hairy for a little while
it's
there.
Impressive, though.
You know what? The balls. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And by the way, stealing Wi-Fi from your neighbor, Steve, is number 3. So they consider that different than number 1, which is connecting to Wi-Fi without permission. So the stealing just in general is a whole different thing.
Because like what if you went into someone's house and you just figured out their password without even asking? That would probably be like what you're saying, connected to someone's Wi-Fi without asking, whereas the neighbor one, you're not even in their house. They're just close enough that you can take their stuff.
Which is why you should have a password, because it slows you down. I mean, if someone's on your Wi-Fi, that's the only problem with anybody being on my Wi-Fi. I wouldn't care. If it didn't affect my speeds,
right,
I wouldn't care.
Like if someone came over to my house and asked me what my Wi-Fi password is, I'd have no problem being like, oh, it's this. Because we've had like people like, stay over or whatever reason. It's like, yeah, if you need my password, go ahead. Because it's not, that password is very unique to any other password I have.
Now, the number 2 Wi-Fi etiquette that gets broken on this list, I will say this. If any of you know what this is, either A, you're the perpetrator, or B, this has happened to you, because I just can't believe this is a thing. This is amazing to me if this happens. And apparently it does, to the point that it's like the number 2 Wi-Fi etiquette break. Yeah, I mean, so the only way you would know this is if it happened to you or you're one of the people that have done this. And since you
downloading porn.
That's
you
what
guys,
I was going to say.
Ooh,
gosh, yeah, right.
Well, it's number 9 is streaming or downloading large files because it can slow down other devices.
Oh, they're very large files.
Yeah.
Girthy?
Yes.
Yeah, and which, by the way, also opening shady links, number 7, that includes porn. So you've got 9 and 7 on that one.
Too bad it's not number 6 and number 9 then.
Oh, nice. Number 6, by the way, I agree with as well. So we'll see if we'll get because you talked about you talked about that in the way of 6 and 9. But let me get back to number 2. You're probably not going to get it because I don't know anybody who does this. Who would change somebody's Wi-Fi password on them? Yeah, that's number 2.
That's pretty messed up.
Do
you tell them, or do you just say, I don't know what happened, and every time you go over there, you're like, I got Wi-Fi just fine.
Yeah, see, the reason somebody would do this is because they go, oh my gosh, dude, your password's too weak. I need to fix this for you. But even then,
I didn't ask you to.
Who's arrogant enough to do that?
I honestly don't even know how to change my own password, so there's that.
Well, good job, buddy.
Yeah, good job there. Actually...
Yeah.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I just go somewhere and I do something.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
But
try my app.
I don't know how to do that.
I mean, I'm sure I'll figure it out if I had to.
Yeah.
I usually, when worst comes to worst, I just say resend it, and then I just get the email and reset a whole new password.
Oh, yeah, I do that so much.
Yeah.
Some people say, though, there's a cap on data usage in some instances, and if you go past that data cap, then all of a sudden you're being charged. So if you're taking somebody's Wi-Fi...
Another good reason. Yeah, it's another good reason to not be stealing stuff from people.
How do you feel about if someone comes over to your house and are you cool with giving up your password?
Oh,
yes.
That is like my password is not one of my own. It was one they created, so it's alphanumeric, just mess. So I don't mind. But if it was one that I set up, yeah, because if it's a password that I use for other things, I do have a hard time with that.
Well, that's why I make it a point not to have that my Wi-Fi password's completely one in itself because. Right. I don't have a problem with it, although I feel weird asking people for theirs. Like I remember staying at Ted's place, and Ted, for some reason, is in like this apartment that gets no cell service. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I kind of have to have access to my phone because of, God forbid anything goes on in my house with the baby. I might need to hurry home or whatever it may be. So finally, I'm like, dude, you got to give me your password. And he didn't know it. So then we spent an hour trying to figure out what his password was.
Oh, man.
Which was pretty fun. It actually added to the entertainment of the night, but finally got it figured out. But I felt weird even asking.
That's why I love Apple. Basically, if you both have iPhones, you can, or any kind of Apple device,
you can ping it to them.
It just says it. It just shows up. You go, hey, would you like?
Cool.
And I think that is a great thing because then you don't have to know their password and it gets done.
I love on Comcast how you can just ask your remote with the voice remote and just be like, what's my Wi-Fi password? And it puts it on the screen for you.
It does?
Yeah.
Danny, thank you for that. I did not know
it's
that.
It's amazing. I found that out this year.
That is so awesome because I mean, there's somebody that comes over to my house all the time with his kid and every time she needs to connect up and it could be right on the... oh, man, that's awesome.
Do you ever look at your neighbor's Wi-Fi usernames and just chuckle? Like,
this
is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a new development. Like I open, I'm like, I wonder what I was just curious to see if before we had our cable set up, if someone there was a hotspot for Xfinity, so I could at least get on Wi-Fi. But there wasn't. But I'm looking through everybody's stuff, and then I was just like, someone's Wi-Fi username is like I love squirrels or something like that, and I'm like. Is that a genuine love that you decided like I need to let everyone know, or was it just like this is going to be the most random name for my Wi-Fi?
That's awesome.
And that's what it is.
Is that an Urban Dictionary thing we're missing as well?
I don't think so. I think this person might just be a fan of squirrels. Squirrels are adorable.
They are.
I love like the punny ones. Like I used to have one that was LAN, L-A-N, before time, kind of like the movie Land Before Time.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when people get really creative.
Like a LAN party.
Land Before Time.
Mine is pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's great. Cool too. Yeah. I still think Dong Lover 69, Steve. Yours is the best.
That's my password, BJ. Don't give it out.
You just gave it out.
It.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on.
I always confuse your password with your my bad.
So why do I tell you anything anymore?
Well, so now if anyone can find your house, they can get on your Wi-Fi, which probably won't happen.
Oh, Steve's house is in the middle of a black hole. No one's going to
find my own house.
Yeah.
I always love the person that's the clever one. It seems like everyone always has is like there's someone out there that has like FBI or surveillance.
We have windowless
CIA.
Yeah. We have windowless van in our neighborhood.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh my god!
Then you always get the one that's like Chris's Wi-Fi. I'm like, Come on. You probably stink at coming up with fantasy football team names too.
Yeah, I know. It's like they just don't care. It's just like it's totally phoned in.
We never changed our name. It still says Netgear whatever. Like I don't even care.
Yeah.
So it says mine is it only hurts when I pee. Letter I, the letter P.
Oh, IP, like, okay, IP.
IP address.
That's actually clever. Okay.
My old roommate had set ours to be Skynet.
Oh, I like that. That's right. I'll be back.
My old neighbor had a vasectomy. He changed his Wi-Fi to Neuter Dave.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. Number 4 on this list, I think we will all agree, is that you just don't give people's passwords to other people without their permission, right? Because that's what people are doing.
Oh, like if I was at Ted's place, someone would be like, yo, his password is this. No, you don't do that.
Yeah. Here's Wi-Fi etiquette that's kind of interesting. Using your phone at the dinner table. That's considered Wi-Fi etiquette wrong.
I think that's more cell phone etiquette or smartphone etiquette.
Right? I'm surprised Wi-Fi isn't there. I guess because you're at the house, therefore you got the Wi-Fi.
That's a stretch. Maybe we should have made this a top 5 list.
Yeah, right.
So number 6, I mean, I, as a business person and understands how, what businesses need to do to stay alive. I think this is kind of a faux pas. Using a coffee shop's Wi-Fi without buying something.
I was going to ask you guys about that because I always feel bad when I'm like, I even just need to check my email or something and I just like run in, but I don't buy any. It's like using the bathroom without buying something. Like at a gas station.
See,
Yeah,
the
kind
bathroom.
of like that, yeah.
The bathroom you need as a human being. And
I need Wi-Fi,
honestly-
BJ.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's you, right? Yeah, you can't go to the bathroom without Wi-Fi.
In my head, though, if it's like, let's just use Starbucks as at some point, I'm going to give you a lot of my money. It might not be today.
Fair.
But I feel like it's like, let's just agree that at some point you're getting my cash. Let me have your Wi-Fi for whatever reason. I don't know why I would be there without getting a coffee, because if I go to a coffee shop to use the Wi-Fi, I'm sure as hell going to get a coffee. Because why else am I there?
And you're not just
and
gonna
maybe a
get
blueberry
coffee.
muffin.
There we go.
Warmed.
Oh, yeah.
Or a cheese Danish if they're out of the blueberry muffins.
Yeah, they're not going to worry about you. You're never going to be a guy that doesn't spend it at Starbucks.
But it's like no different than with like the gas stations too. I'm like, I'm some point going to use your store. Like, let me just use your urinal.
I am old school guilty of number 8.
Uh-oh.
I am old school guilty of number 8 because I did this before there was Wi-Fi. Because before Wi-Fi, how did you entertain yourself? Well, if you're at somebody else's house, it depends on what they have. And this one person had a lot of books. So I ended up reading their books more than interacting with them as a guest of their house.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Were you just there for a few hours?
No, we were there for a weekend.
Okay, I could see that being fine.
Well, no, I spent more time with their books than them.
Oh, okay.
See, and I can see their point. Of course, what's the updated version of that? Using the internet too much when you're a guest at somebody's house, where you're spending more time online than
just
with them.
staring at your phone as opposed to actually interacting with them.
That is rude. I will say this, though. If you're there basically against your will, you're held hostage because your wife likes his wife, but he's kind of not really anybody you care about, and he's not a conversationalist, and he's really boring.
This is all hypothetical, right?
Yeah, it's all hypothetical. He's 10 years older, but seemed like he was 80 years older than me. I thought, yes, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, usually if I'm staying at somebody's place, I'm not going to be using my Wi-Fi until like I'm going to bed, and then they're not around.
Can I ask you
and
guys?
then I'm looking at certain sites.
Let me ask you guys something.
With their dish towel. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa. Wow, talk about oddly specific.
I was cleaning something.
I got news for you. I like my dish towels. Guess who's not coming over to my house because I have Halloween and Thanksgiving dish towels. You're not getting anywhere near them.
Well, guess who's not coming over to your house because he doesn't want to come over to your house?
Good. This works out. My dish towels are safe.
Checkmate.
I win no matter how that turns out.
I like this person says my neighbor's Wi-Fi is not your effing Wi-Fi. That's the name of it.
Oh, I like that. But here, I have a question. Is anybody ever in a situation where you are now held hostage because of your significant other and you're forced to be in a social situation with the spouse of that person because they like each other, but you're like, what am I doing here?
I am not answering that question.
That's just relationships. Like you're going to go hang out with your wife or boyfriend or husband or whoever it is. They're friends, and maybe you'd rather not do that, but that's just kind of what comes with the territory.
See, I thought that Vicky and Danny's generation, and maybe even Generation Z, go out with you. They're so cool to let you have your alone time that they don't need to be with you at all the time, so that way you never have to hang with people you don't like. It's like, oh, you want to go see your friend? Go see her. I don't care. Or go see him.
Well, I think there's a little bit of both of that.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask.
Where I'm like, my wife's like, oh, go have fun with, go to that concert, take Ted. I don't feel like going out or something along those lines. But then there's times where it's like, hey, my friend's having a birthday party. It'd be awesome if you came along with me. Yeah, and I think it's partially because like she just wants the person that she's with to be there. Like to at least have somebody to be with it, no matter what's going on.
How would you feel if you had to do that for a weekend, where she said, "I want to go hang with my friend. We'll go spend time with them," and you have to be, and you don't
I have done that,
and you don't like the dude. Or,
well, I mean, I'm pretty cool with everybody. I mean,
oh yeah, you find a way to exist with people who just.
Oh yeah,
wow.
I could be indifferent with somebody and still make it fun.
What if they're not even talking to you? Are you happy about that? Because you just go on your phone, you'll be okay.
Yeah, or I'll just sit in silence with them, or see if we could put it like something on TV.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything with this guy.
Or I'll just like basically be like a lost puppy right next to my wife the entire time.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's like, don't leave me.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll go with you. That's awkward. I don't care. I don't want to be left with this guy.
I had a whole weekend, and I thought I was doing the right thing because he was not interacting with me at all. So I'm like, all right, well, he's got these books. I'll read these books, and I'll let my wife hang with his wife because those are the two people that like each other.
So who was upset with you?
His wife.
Everybody.
His wife was mad at me because I wasn't socializing with them, and. Back those days, this was like 20 years ago, I was very much, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's like, look, my wife likes you. I don't. That's why we're here. She's the one that likes you.
That makes for a fun
I didn't say I hated her, but I mean, it was, but she came at me, bro.
Hey,
it was I wasn't reading the book bothering nobody. She came at me, bro.
Look, I don't hate you. I just don't like you.
Exactly.
My wife made me come. And your husband's just like a mute.
He is. He was horrible. That's why I say, your husband is massively antisocial. I go, look, you're fighting with me right now. He's not even here.
What if he is very social, but he just didn't want to hang out with you?
Look, that's always a possibility. But then again, you know what? Don't be mad at me for that. I can't help if I'm me. And by the way, we were okay. He was okay not being around me, and I was reading a book. Why did she have to ruin whatever paradise we both created for ourselves?
I'd imagine that she created this fantasy of you two just hitting it off, and then this would be like we're the couples that do everything together.
There was nobody that could hit it off with this guy except one person, Bernie. Yes, the dead guy from Weekend at Bernie's is the only one that could hang out with this guy.
I thought you meant... I heard you wrong. I thought you meant Bert from Bert and Ernie.
Well, Ernie. I think actually, Steve, Bert also would be a pretty good guy to hang out with. Where Ernie is really chill, Bert would have been, well, actually, who am I kidding? I'm pretty much Bert in that equation.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, it was just a weekend, though. Just like,
just a weekend. We drove from Rochester, New York to Michigan, some damn city in Michigan. I mean, this was my whole weekend. I had to take a Monday off for this. I mean, so I had to spend a vacation day but I did it for my wife. Like, she really likes this person.
And I'm sure you let her know you did it for her.
I'm glad you got over it.
No, I'm not over it.
I can tell.
I can tell, yeah.
I don't think people should be forced to suffer like this.
How long ago did this happen?
Well, it had to have been 20 years.
20 years at least, maybe more,
Yeah.
maybe even more.
All right, cool.
And how many weekends have you had since? In the grand scheme of things, like, you didn't lose anything.
Why do I have to suffer? That's why I was hoping Danny's generation would fix this and just like, let my wife take the trip. Take a plane. Here's the money. Go visit your friend. Have a great time.
Well, she's doing that now.
Exactly.
She took a permanent trip.
Yeah, exactly.
California.
Listen, I cannot tell you how many wonderful things I've missed out on that she would have had me part of if I was down there.
You don't have to hang out with her and all of her, crystal friends.
Exactly. Yeah, see, so I got my way. I'm just, wondering if it's still going on.
And they're all named Crystal, that's just.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All of her crystal friends, yeah. And every once in a while, they're all on the main stage.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, well, hey, Steve did get this one wrong.
Galveston, Mobile, and Tampa are all located on the shores of what body of water?
The Atlantic Ocean.
No.
The Mississippi.
No.
The water.
No.
I don't know. I mean, Rev,
technically,
the Gulf of Mexico is a body of water, so...
Yeah, we're looking for specific names there.
I don't remember you saying specific, but all right, fine.
You stop it.
I don't know.
Didn't outline that in the rules, did ya?
206-421-ROCK. You want to play Beat Migs? All right, call that number, and we'll do it at 847.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.